Hello everybody, DarkSwine9 3 here, coming to you with a brand new Let's Play, because I can't finish any of my other ones. Whew. Before I begin and introduce this series, I should probably say, the reason why I haven't finished Gauntlet yet, or continued it for that matter, is because I actually recorded three episodes, and then they got corrupted, so I need to go and remake that footage. Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask is a very draining game, emotionally. Because you keep doing the same things over and over with very few variances, it makes it really difficult to want to continue. So, that should be coming back. It should be coming back, but don't expect it too soon. Because I really do want to focus on this, because this is one of those games that I really enjoy. I've been playing Dark Souls for basically about a year now. And, it's actually a funny story. The very first time I played this game, I made it up to the tutorial boss, and then I turned it off and didn't play it for another year and a half. And then eventually I picked it up and I said, "Hey, let's give this another shot." And it worked out. It worked out in my favor, and I actually really enjoyed it. I made it up to Ornstein and Smough in Anor Londo, and I loved it. So we're gonna be starting off with a deprived character. They have really good stats starting off, but they don't have any sort of armor or anything like that, so you need to be very careful with your attacks. And basically everything else about you is pretty standard. They start off really low level, so it is easy to level them up, so I can get their armor up. Who do I want him to look like? Well, I think I made my decision. So, give him some hair. Let's make him look like an African Frank West. You know what? That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make Frank West. Which one of these will work best? We need the best West. So the Jubilant Katarina's facial structure with Frank West's features would be pretty good. Oh my god. It's even got Frank West chest hair. This is awkward. So I just need to figure out how to change his skin color back to need to figure out how to change his skin color again, because I want those jowls, but I want to make an accurate Frank West. So let's do that. Entire. It's not there. Where would it be? Don't tell me I can't change. I have to be able to. I don't really focus too much on these. I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is I'm going to skip ahead to our nice finished product. That sound good? Well, it's too bad, because I'm the editor. Almost forgot how traumatizing these can be. You know, on second thought, maybe the Delta Farmer would be the best one here. He's covered Origin. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh god. Let's make his face not flat. Let's give him a little bit of jowl. Yeah. Hairline receding. That's the Frank I know. Face aspect ratio. Yeah, let's make him 4:3. And now he's 16:9. So then it looks like this is Frank. Alright, I suppose. But let's get started. He's got a big head just like Frank. His gift is the black firebomb, because there isn't a camera. He is deprived because, well, have you seen the way the guards stripped him in the first game and left him with nothing? He is a man. He's a man's man. He's a Delta Farmer. He's got a receding hairline, and his hair color is black. all things considered, I think we've got the perfect Frank. So here we go. Frank Daddy's ready to enter the world. He's ready to cover wars. And what better war to cover than the war of whatever this place is called. I honestly cannot remember the name of this world.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arched trees, and everlasting dragons.
Yeah, let's see how long that lasts. All the dragons are dead.
But then there was fire.
Everything changed.
And with fire
Nation attacked.
came disparity. Heat and cold.
Oh no, it's like the opening of Majora's Mask remade in Unreal Engine 4.
And of course, light and dark.
Light and dark. This game has always interested
from
me.
the dark,
I've wanted to know
they
more about the
came.
lore. And every single time something new
And
comes up,
found
whether it's a
the
new
souls of
character or a new
lords
boss or something, I want to know
within
the
the flame.
lore. And I'm never satisfied with what they show. Oh, it's the Grave Lord. That's Nito. That was a
Nito,
pun. His name is Nito,
the
but it's also
first
pretty
of the
Nito that
dead.
he exists, and he's just a giant mass of skeletons. That's the joke.
the witch of Izalith, and her daughters of chaos.
Good daughters of chaos.
Gwyn, the lord of sunlight,
Santa?
and his faithful knights.
Santa's getting pretty
And
violent.
the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten.
Probably should have
With the strength
shut
of
off
lords,
that. I should probably go
challenge the
offline.
dragons.
Sorry.
Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart their stone spears. The witches weaved great firestorms.
This looks
Nito's unleashed a miasma of death and disease.
Let's Nito.
And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more.
I love how actually that was. Like, this is the last of the dragons. And I love how they say the dragons are no more, but Seath is still a
Thus
dragon. So the
began
dragons are almost no
the
more, but he
age
kind of
of
lives
fire.
forever until we come up and destroy him. So
But soon
if you
the
want to be
flames
technical,
will fade, and only
the
dark
dragons are basically
will
still going
remain.
strong. Especially when you take all the different spin-offs.
Even now, there are only embers. And man
Lady
sees
Maria, is
not
that you? Did you come back from the
only
Bloodborne dead?
endless
Ooh,
nights.
who's that?
And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark side.
The dark side. That cutscene felt longer than it was. But we're finally getting into the game. They have... Well, okay, another cutscene. Cool. Oh, a tiny rat. Of course,
Yes, indeed.
more cutscenes.
The dark side brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north.
Dear God, let me play the game.
Where they are locked away to await the end of the world.
These are their stories. Bum bum! There's good old Frank. He looks like it's scrotum.
Is your fate.
looks like sandpaper. I did it. Thanks, bud. It's very abrupt. But I will take it. Eventually. Now we're in the game. And we're in the Northern Undead Asylum. And we're holding a shard of a... We're basically holding a broken sword. This is our strongest weapon ever. You cannot play the game without this. You can kill all bosses in one hit with this weapon. No, you can't. Don't believe anything I say. But our little buddy there freed us, and now we get to run around this really godforsaken place. So we aren't going to follow the tutorials here because I already know what to do. For those of you who don't, I should say that I'm playing with an Xbox 360 controller. Although the game is also... I'm also playing on PC, which had a terrible port. And I'm using the DS Fix mod that allows it to scale past some obscene, stupid resolution so that I can actually play the game in 1080p natively. So it looks good. You can force this game to run 60 frames, although it looks weird, and it will also make you have to react twice as fast, which is hard. See this bastard? We're going to come back to him. And trust me, we're not going to like it. At all. But take note of his look, because we're going to be seeing him again in a little bit. Or someone who looks like him. There's like 3 people who look like him in this game. Including him. And it's annoying. It's honestly really annoying. But, for those playing on the Xbox 360 or with an Xbox 360 controller, one of the most important things you have to note is that right bumper, or R1 in the PS3's case, is your normal attack, R2, or the right trigger is your strong attack. Using them in a combination will be really helpful. And of course, lighting these bonfires, it gets lit. And you can rest, you can stock up on energy and refill your health and everything. And right now I'm naked, which means that I roll fast. The door doesn't open from this side. We'll have to change that. So, there really doesn't seem like there are too many places for us to go right now. But then we open up this door. And you remember that dude who was in the basement? Well, he's still in the basement. But... surprise! There's another. And I could probably fight him right... oh god. I could probably fight him right now. I'm getting out of here. I could probably fight that dude. And I might even be able to do relatively well. And it would give me a weapon. If I were to kill him. A really strong weapon, but I'm not quite interested in it. Also, I don't know if what I'm saying is actually true, and I don't feel like risking it. But we got the plank shield, which is pretty nice. So we're going to go to change our equipment. We're going to turn on our plank shield. Then we use our directional pad. There we go, we got a shield. We hold it out in front of us and run. This is how we cover wars. I'm ready to cover you! Ooh. Oh, he's a fast one. Slippery. But he can't get past this club. So, he's gonna run away and he's gonna try and get another hit off on you. It's not gonna work though. He's not too good. I'm not too good. But I could bash his head in with this club. And we're all set. It's actually, quite easy. See, I don't know why people have trouble playing this game. It's the easiest game I've ever played. It will get worse. So, you can press B to do a back step, or you can, in a direction, press it, and you will roll. This is the most important way of getting around, as well as, avoiding attacks, because let's face it, this game's going to throw a lot of stuff at you. That thing up there is going to be absolutely important for later on in the game, because, as you noticed, when we went into the water earlier, we were slowed down a lot. We will get a ring later that will keep us from, getting screwed over, as they call it. But, at the top of those stairs, a ball was thrown and opened up a hole in this wall, and here's our buddy. He probably fell. You shouldn't be messing around on the roof.
You're no hollow. Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I are both undead. Hear me out, will you?
I'll consider it. So if we talk to him...
Regrettably, I have failed in my mission.
So basically he talks about how he's a loser and he failed his mission, but perhaps we can keep the torch lit.
Thou who art undead art chosen.
And he's going to give us something really important, aside from a key, if I remember correctly. It's absolutely imperative that we talk to this guy, simply because he gives us one of the most important items in the game. One that can really keep us from getting screwed over. What is it?
Here, take this.
What is it?
An Estus flask.
An Estus flask.
An undead favorite.
So, for those of you who aren't familiar with the game, an Estus flask basically allows us to take a swig and we get our health back. And he's also giving us the key to the second floor.
After death. And thank you.
You'd hate to harm me after death. And basically what we can do is we can try to... Oh, so that's just the regular attacks, and that's weird. I have never actually played with a club, so the moveset's something I gotta get used to. But you can hit him, he's only got like 1 HP, but he's 100 souls, so that's actually gonna be really helpful for us to level up later. So, now that that ball's out of the way, first things first, we're gonna come down here, and that door that we couldn't open from the other side is now open. And we can go back to the bonfire if we so choose, but there's no need. So what we're going to do is we're going to come and we're going to bash this dude's head in. Now, something important I should note is that there are various attacks for each weapon depending on the hand that you're holding it in. You can also press Y to wield your right-hand weapon with 2 hands. And, yeah, it's really helpful. Look at how Frank's holding his shield. But we're not going to do that right now. One of the most important things to note, though, is that when you're fighting enemies who have melee weapons, you can parry their attacks, and you can repost them if you attack immediately after... Wow, I'm doing horrible. If you repost them after you parry... Wow, I did atrociously. So, let me finish my thought. You can parry them. It's actually very difficult when I can't hear, so let's adjust that. But you can parry them, and then you can repost them, and then you will counterattack, and it will do extra damage. Typically, it's critical damage. If I remember correctly, that's at least what it's called. We can run after this dude. He can act like he can get away. Oh, he got away. But he's going to run up the stairs. He's not going to be fast enough. Also, if you stand behind someone and attack them from behind, you do an obscene amount of damage. It's basically, I'll consider it a mini crit, because I can't remember if the repost or the backstab does more damage. But we're going to parry this guy. Wow, we are not going to parry this guy. Really. There we go. Here we go. So you take him down to the ground and you smack his head in. And depending on how much damage you do, I can't remember the exact percentage, so I will tell you in the next episode. After I look it up, you will, wow, buddy, calm down. You will get more souls based on how much damage you do to them, regarding, what you would usually do. So, if you do more damage to someone with a repost, then you get extra souls, which is really helpful. But you can also do that. Smack that ass. And it works. It's actually pretty great. So we're going to put up our shield for this guy. We're going to hit him from behind and get that 4 extra souls. Honestly, it's not a lot, but every little bit helps, especially in a deprived run. But here we go. Here comes some parryable guys. I'm not a big fan of these dudes. But they're relatively easy to parry if they start off with that stab. It's also been a long while since I've actually played this game, because I got up to Ornstein and Smough, got stuck, and then new games came out like Doom, and I was like, hey, I want to play those. And here we are. But what we're going to do is we're going to, yeah, collapse on his face. That did almost half as much damage. Well, it did almost half his life. And we're very, very strong. We're very strong, and we have decent defense considering this bastard's gonna keep coming at us. So I should probably heal up. I need to get away. I don't have as much stamina as I would like, but all things considered, we aren't doing too horrible. Especially since all we gotta do is slap him a couple hundred times, and then he'll die. And he'll give us a lot of souls that we can then use to level up, and all that good shit. So let's do it. Let's fight him. Let's take him out. I don't think his tail... Typically with bosses, what you do is you take out their tail, and eventually it will drop a weapon. I don't think that's the case with this guy. And if it is, oh well. He's dead. Victory achieved. Hurrah. If only I can remember how to do the gestures. See? Now we're happy. So we've got a decent amount of souls right now. What we're going to do is we're going to head back out. Can't quite remember which direction it's the other direction. Gotta go in the other direction first. Actually, it doesn't really matter, but I want to show this off before we go on to the next area. We can sit down at bonfire. Well, so much for that. But we can heal. I was gonna say we can sit down at bonfires and use them to level up, but we have to go to the other place first, which is kind of sucky. But all things considered, I don't blame them for wanting to wait until you get to Firelink Shrine in order to do it. So, in one of the areas here, there is a dead guy. This guy. He'll give you the soul of a lost undead, which you can then use on yourself. Soul of a lost undead will net you 200 souls. Souls are the currency in this game, and they're also the experience. So essentially what you're doing is you're buying things with experience as well as leveling up. And you might have noticed when I died, I dropped something. That was my souls, and I picked something up. It was like a green blood splatter. That was my blood stain. When you pick that up, you get all your souls back. But if you die again without picking it up, then they're lost for good. So you really have to strategize. If you die in a boss fight, it's best to go for your souls. At least then, if you get attacked, you don't lose all those souls. But if you manage to dodge that attack, then you're back in the fight like usual.
To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage.
I love how Frank doesn't even mind that he just got carried away by a giant raven.
Lordran.
That's the name of the place, Lordran. Could not remember for the life of me. Now, well. So, welcome to the giant Ba Sing Se city of Lordran. And he just drops us off. Thanks. What a nice bird. And now we can turn Frank back into his beautiful self. How would we do that? With humanity, of course. What you do is you take out this black sprite and you absorb it into yourself. Then what you do is you can go to this bonfire here, and you can reverse hollowing. You can offer humanity and reverse hollowing. For one humanity, you can turn back into a human. Look at him. Look at him. Still got the weird knapsack crotch thingy though, and the thong, but you know, one step at a time. Then what we can do is we can get another one. This is really important, kids. Do this wherever you can. You can kindle, but we can't kindle anymore because this place has its own fire maiden, and that's automatically kindling it. If we lost her, we'd have to do some more stuff, but that comes later. So now what we can do is we can level up. We've got plenty of souls here to level up 3 times, so what should we level up first? I'm thinking with the fact that I'm naked, I should level up my strength as well as my resistance. That will allow me to take a little bit more damage as well as give out a little bit more damage. And that's really important to me as a person because I like to fight things. Like this guy. I don't like this guy. So what do you guys say we fight him? Let's see how bad this goes. He doesn't seem happy. We don't even have to fight him. If you press up and the normal attack at the same time, what you can do is you do this kick. You just keep kicking this guy. Just keep kicking him. He won't take damage, and he won't attack you. So if you just keep doing this, you can drag him over to that little cliff over there. You just take him out. He has nothing important to say. He talks about 2 bells that you have to... Hey, buddy. I didn't say you could go back. Don't do that. Alright, we're gonna have to fight him. Ow. I'm not liking this dude.
Lousy rat. You have...
And now he's fighting. He is angry. Come on.
I'm not
Come on, buddy.
You rascal! You will soon regret this.
Alright, buddy. Let down your guard. Let down your guard. Okay. So, I was trying to kick him off the cliff there, and unfortunately, because we've aggroed him, he's going to keep attacking us when we respawn. No ifs, ands, or buts. So, as soon as we spawn in here, there he is. He's ready to fight. He is not happy. I have made a mistake. And also, because we died, we look like a testicle again. It's a problem. It's a struggle. Uh-oh. Also, because he's a true NPC fighter, he has the ability to parry, repost, and do all the things that we can do with his set of weapons. So this was a huge mistake. But there's no turning back now. Typically, I fight this dude mano-a-mano, but because I'm not used to the club and I want his souls, because he does give a decent amount. Get out of here. Bye, dude. He doesn't drop anything, which is pretty nice for me. He doesn't drop any items, although it would be nice if he dropped some armor or something, but there's nothing I can do about that now. So we're just going to go and we're going to level up. And I think we should increase our health, because oh my god, he hits hard. I mean, he's never going to come back. He is dead for good. But, better safe than sorry, because everything else is going to absolutely screw us. Now, I prefer to go down here first, simply because there's a lot of good soul opportunity. This is actually one of the first places I was grinding when I started off the game. But we aren't going to do too much grinding right now. And if I do any grinding, it's going to be off screen. What is this growing on his body? Frank's got like a weird parasite growing on his chest, and I feel bad for him. At the same time, he needs to take care of himself a little better. He's been living life a little too freely now that he's covered some wars. But, yeah, well, he's gonna live his life. Nothing I can do about it. And now we've got enough to level up again. I'm pretty sure. But let's just slap that dude. He's dead. And that's 20 souls. And that's 20 souls. And when you up your damage output enough, you will end up getting the extra souls. So eventually, those extra 4 souls start to add up pretty quickly. And this dude just falls. He's probably gonna end up... Nope, not dropping anything. Cool. But there's a guy down here. And I want to talk to this guy really quick, because he's going to be really helpful starting off here.
You haven't lost your head. And more important,
My head's full of hair, like
How
usual.
on earth? Well, I shouldn't pry. I'm Ricky of Vinheim. I was once an established smith. Look at me now.
Look at me now.
Can you believe
Look at me now. Well, you are kind of mouthy.
Have you?
So basically, he talks about how he was the best in Vinheim for smithing. So through him, we can reinforce our weapons, we can repair our armor, which we don't have, and we can repair everything. Let's just repair everything for the hell of it. Well, we don't have anything else, but we can purchase things from him, like magical catalysts and other forms of magic spells. Not too much, and he doesn't have anything else to say, but he is a really handy smith for later on. Well, okay. That was stupid. That was incredibly stupid. So, what are we going to do now? We're going to go back down there. We're going to get our stuff back. There is something else that I want to grab while I'm here. And I don't typically grab it in the beginning, but I figure it's a good thing to show off, and it'll really help us out with this deprived run, especially since I have no idea what I'm doing. A little bit of extra healing would actually be pretty helpful right about now. So we're going to pull this lever because elevators stay in the position they were in when you died regardless. So even though it starts up here on this life, on my last life, it's not going to start up here for my other life because the elevator was down there when I died. So in other words, you got to really play this game out to strategy in some cases, because sometimes you might not be able to summon the elevator. I haven't found an instance where that's the case because I'm good at this game. Don't believe me. I haven't found an instance like that because I haven't made it all that far, but I can imagine that it is a, I can imagine it's there in Sen's Fortress, actually, because you can get in those cages and they'll send you shooting up elevator style. But that's gonna come way later. I actually have played through it a little bit. It is not fun. Oh,
hello.
okay, bye.
What?
And this time we're not gonna roll down the cliff. But what we are gonna do is we're gonna beat this dude up, because we don't like him. We don't go to Ravenholm. We're gonna beat up everybody here because we are the new Hollow on the block and we have to assert our dominance. Hollow at your boy. So, there are multiple places for us to go starting off. This is one of them, but it's not recommended because this place is so absolutely terrifying and difficult. But we're idiots. Or at least I am, and you're watching. So, your brain cells are probably dying, so give it some time. But we've got an S-Stock now. That might actually prove to be helpful compared to the club. Let's check it out. Oh, wow, what a surprise. No, it's not. Okay, whatever. So, let's beat this dude up. So, there's something down here that I want to get. It's called a Firekeeper Soul. Why is this important, you might ask? To put it simply, Firekeeper Souls are what allow us to upgrade our Estus Flask. An Estus Flask +1 is going to be really helpful starting off because that would allow us to fill up our entire health meter in one swig as opposed to two. And considering it doesn't cost anything to get, doesn't cost anything for us to upgrade, it's worth a shot. So let's do it. But we picked up something here called a Transient Curse. And I'm going to try without it because there is absolutely no way I'm going to defeat the ghosts. But what a Transient Curse does is it allows you to interact with these ghosts physically. So see those? Oh, you can fight those if you want, but only if you use a Transient Curse. But I'm not using it. And we're going to die. And as soon as we get this, we're dead. We are dead. There we go. Bye. So I'm going to go grab my souls one last time. And we're going to cut it off. This is basically just preparations for the beginning of what is to come. And in the next episode, we're going to be coming up to the Undead Burg, I believe. I can't quite remember all the names of the places in this game because most of them start with undead. I remember the first time I played this game, I came down here and I was like, oh, this is good, I can do this. And the ghosts absolutely destroyed me, and I didn't bring the elevator back up, which I probably should start doing. And what ended up happening was I ran through that door and I ran straight down the hole. And this is a really deep well here. I mean, we're going relatively fast for an elevator, and it still took us a little bit to get down here. So, evidently, I don't think their first concern was making something that you can survive falling down. And so it screwed us. It screwed us. But there's our souls, I think. Yeah, that's our souls. And it looks to me like it's in a place that I really don't want to be in. Chances are that's where the ghosts start spawning in. So it looks like we're kind of screwed no matter what. We're gonna give it one last shot. Really quick though, I want to see if I have something in my inventory here. No, I wanted to see if I had a homeward bone because that might allow me to leave this place before the ghosts actually start attacking. But it looks like it's at the entrance. Okay, cool. So it's at the entrance of that place, so I can still grab my souls and get out of here before things get too hairy. Well, too late for that. We've already got the scythe hands coming up. Slim pickings for them. All things considered, because I'm not that strong. But we're out of here. We got our souls. We've got our Firekeeper soul, which we can use to get a lot of souls to level up, or you can use it to upgrade your Estus Flask, in which case I think Estus is a lot more important than leveling up, because even if you're bad at the game, Estus will allow you to stay alive. Keep that in mind, kids. Words to live by. And we're not going to go out of our way to kill every last one of these things, because they only give 20, and I'm starting to realize that it's not the best place, and I can't believe I wasted all of my time here starting out, especially since there's a much better place to grind coming right up. But that's just me. So we're going to head back up, and we're going to go upgrade our Estus Flask. We're going to introduce ourselves to a couple more new people, and we're going to go looting behind the shrine. And Frank's looking happy. I am glad that I started doing this. And I know it's probably not very fun to see, it's probably not fun to watch all these preparations, but they have to be done. No response. She can't speak. But she can reinforce our flask. So let's give her the Firekeeper soul, and now we have an Estus Flask +1, so we can come back from near death to full health in no time. Just one quick swig. And that's actually really important. So we're going to keep that the way it is. What else, though? I think that endurance is still really helpful here, because then we're gonna start getting some armor pretty soon, hopefully. And from there we can move on. So there are a couple things here. This chest probably shouldn't be open. I don't know. That's strange. I know that there's an NPC who will come here later, and he will allow you to sell various story items, I think. Or at least it's a glitch that allows you to sell story items, and then they'll turn up in that chest, and you can just keep doing that for easy souls. But that comes way later. Like, way later. So, we're gonna run up the stairs. We're gonna talk to this dude. What's his name?
Hello there. I believe
I'll
we
call
are
him
not
Ernie.
acquainted. I am Petrus of Thurland.
I actually do
Have
not
you
like this
business
dude.
with us? If
But that'll
not,
come later.
I prefer to keep a distance, if possible.
He is not trustworthy whatsoever.
Hello there. I realize, but I hear no.
Now he's gonna give us a copper coin. That'll come up later. And the more we keep talking to him, we just
I am
bother
so
him.
good.
He wants to teach us miracles now.
Very well.
So let's join his covenant, because why not? Praise all that be. And now we're in his covenant.
Now let me only.
So we can share our miracles, we can purchase things from him, like healing, homeward, which takes us back to the fire, to the last fire we rested at, force, which is like an AoE, and it'll put out this field that'll push people away, seek guidance, can't remember what that is. I don't quite know, but we can heal and things like that, and then we can buy these talismans that will allow us to use these items. We can learn a gesture from them, so we can shrug now. We can shrug now. And that's basically
Come
all
again.
that
The
is important
effectiveness
for this
of the
guy.
teachings
He's otherwise a douche.
depend upon your faith.
So we can walk away from him, and now we can go get the very last thing we need, or the very last things we need before we start our adventure. So we're going to jump down this elevator shaft because it's small, and we're going to take this little passageway here. And you notice these chests. We can open these chests, and inside these chests are homeward bones, which take us back to the fire. Without the use of a homeward spell, a morning star, a talisman. What else? We've got cracked red eye orbs, which let us invade other people. That's actually going to be really fun if I ever decide to do that. And is there anything else here? Doesn't look like it. So now we can walk back here and get this chest. We're going to end up in the graveyard, which is another good place to spawn, or to farm. But it's kind of difficult right now, especially since I don't quite know this dude's moveset. So we're going to get out of here. I think they're right behind me. Okay, they stopped following. Good. So, now we're going to head to the fire. And everything's looking great. So, this last level we're going to use to bring up our resistance. And as always, I'm Darkspine3. If you liked what you saw in this episode, which I highly doubt you will, you can always leave a like and a comment down below, and if you want to see more just like it, hopefully with more action in it, be sure to subscribe, because we've got plenty more to show. I'll see you all in the next episode. Thank you, and goodbye.